Hi everybody, it's Dr. D with First Choice Chiropractic. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some forearm issues that I see a lot in my office. When people come into the office, oftentimes they start to talk about elbow pain. And elbow pain is often where we start to get these little bony prominences that stick out here called the epicondyles on the outside of the elbow and again on the inside of the elbow here. Oftentimes these are called golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, but what they are is really the musculature of the forearm that attaches onto these bony prominences here. They can cause a little bit of pain there called an epicondylitis. It is a tendinitis that starts to form. We can also get pain down into the wrist with different wrist motions because it's using those muscles. But when people come in, they say, I have elbow pain and it hurts right specifically on this spot, or right specifically on this spot here. So today we're going to go over a couple things we can do at home to help with that, using some real simple tools. What we look for is the musculature of the forearm that does the wrist extension. That's going to attach onto the lateral epicondyle here. So if you've got elbow pain that's on the outside of the elbow, it's usually musculature in here that's causing it. What happens to this musculature is it gets overused over time, where maybe we're doing something where we're screwing a screw in, or we're doing something where we're just using the muscles to lift bags out of cars, do things like that, and it starts to develop some tension in those muscles that develop short, tight fibers. And those short, tight little knots, if you got a whole bunch of them through there, will start to make a short, tight muscle. That short, tight muscle constantly pulls here or constantly irritates in the sheath that goes around the wrist, causing the fingers to have some pain there also. So everything that flexes the wrist forward like this is going to attach on the medial aspect here, which we call the medial epicondyle. So anytime we're starting to get pain when we're starting to bring the wrist up, or pain on the medial aspect here, or this part of the elbow, it's usually all this musculature does the same thing. Short, tight little fibers in there, or knots that are in there, shortening the muscle belly and causing constant tension on these fibers that attach onto the bone, causing them to inflame and get irritated. So first things first, when we look at that type of musculature, we can use a simple tennis ball. This is actually a racket ball. We get these in a whole bunch of them at a time. The racket balls work a little bit better because they grip onto things. But the idea of that is what you're going to do is if you're having the tendinitis on the medial epicondyle and the forearm flexors, what we're going to do is we're going to bring the hand forward into a flexed position, and as we roll, we're going to bring the wrist up. So the idea there is to roll out those muscles, start to get that tension out. And what will happen is you'll have a lot of good healthy muscle tissue in there that won't feel painful at all, and then you'll find some spots in there that are maybe a little bit more tender. And when we find those spots, we want to work those out by rolling and keep extending that wrist, trying to get that to loosen up a bit. Same deal with the extensors of the wrist here. We're just going to turn the hand upside down. We're going to extend the wrist. We're going to bring the arm forward and roll where we're bringing the wrist forward all the way up that forearm. Works really well. We can also just take the ball and just roll it around, find the areas where we're having some knots, and just massage those out. The other type of tool that I use in my office all the time is the stick. You can get these on Amazon, Five Below. You can, I think I bought this one at REI. But the idea of the stick is it's just a roller. This one just has little almost PVC type of thing so that it has that rolling ability. You don't have to use something like this. You can grab a broom handle and then take the little cardboard thing that's in the middle of it, like a paper towel roll, stick it over it so it has that rolling ability. And what we're going to do with this is we can roll out the forearm. What I tell people to do is lock that onto something. Lock it onto the bottom of a table. Lock it onto the bottom of this desk that I'm using. And you're going to do the same thing here. Bring the wrist up. You're going to bring the arm forward while you're rolling that wrist out like this. So as we work our way up, we'll find those areas that are really tense and tender. And usually it's up towards the elbow here. And as we start to hit those areas, we're going to gently massage into those and work through them so that we can get some fresh blood into that tissue and get that muscle tissue to heal, so that all of this tension that's pulling constantly on this bone goes away, and therefore the tendinitis goes away also. So if you don't have these types of tools at home, it's just a simple ball. You can use a broom handle, something of that nature. This is going to help to get rid of not only elbow pain, but a lot of wrist pain that people feel, especially when they're doing motions where they're rolling the wrist out like that. So if you are having some tendonitis and some elbow issues, you can try those things at home. If those aren't working, this doesn't work for every single elbow condition that there is. So if you're having an issue with that, please give us a call at my office at 804-726-6810, and we'll be happy to check it out and see if there's anything else we can do for you. Thank you.